The reading for Saturday, the 24th day of January, 2025. I'm just going to get right on with it. Today's a funny day, and it started off warmer than it's ending up. Actually, it's warmer at midnight, I think, than it was at noon. So one of those strange days when storms blow through here. So here we go. It's called The Soft Side of Love. But before that, we have a reading. Live with intention. That was Mary Redmacher Hersey. Live with intention. That is your thought for the day. And from Emerson's essays, thus we are training for a love which knows not sex, nor person, nor partiality, but which seeketh virtue and wisdom everywhere. As you know, the Greeks have many, many different words for love. And the one that is often thought of as love is, well, sexual love, but there's a lot more than that. There's agape love, etc., filial love, and so on. And that was on page 136 of the Emerson essays. And the science of mind. Ultimately, we shall see that the universe rests on the shoulders of love. Ernest Holmes, of course, that was on page 433 of the Science of Mind textbook. And this is Rev Margaret. We look at love, the great spiritual gift of heaven, in many, many ways these days. We know it to be a great healing agent. We speak of tough love when we sometimes have to hold a hard line with a beloved or someone else. And I have a colleague who likes to say that service is love in work clothes, which also suggests the enormous durability of love, at least to me, she says. I want to also consider something called loving kindness, which I would call the soft side of love. Yes, loving can get vigorous and noisy, but there is a wisdom in knowing when to withhold too many words and just let a quiet touch speak volumes. Yeah, quite often we give advice where it's not asked for or it's not wanted. Sometimes all that's needed is a presence, just to be there with someone, hold their hand sometimes, or just simply sit with them. She goes on to say, when things seem to go awry, a proffered hand can cause a connection without a single word being spoken. In the Western world, we can be eager to fill all space with commentary when sometimes none's really welcome. Yeah, I entirely agree with that. Sometimes you don't just need to say anything, right? As I said earlier. Many times it's enough to let the silent flame of love pass between ourselves and others without the complication of too much activity. We're not only recipients and therefore containers of love, but we also are its conduits. When we're wise enough to keep its passageways clear, we can circulate the magic of love in our every contact. People will look forward to being in our presence, even if they don't know why. And I think that speaks for itself, right? You know, as I said, there are many different kinds of love, but often the one that's needed on a day-to-day basis is sometimes just accepting the other person for who they are. And if they need to ask for advice, they're going to ask for it. So if they don't ask for advice, my advice is don't give it. Do not give advice. Just be there. But as I said, often people, if they need advice, they'll actually ask for it. So sometimes loving kindness is simply being with somebody and maybe just being in their presence, and if necessary, holding their hand. A hug sometimes is a wonderful thing, or a compliment. You know, my wife, as I've mentioned before, she is really good about complimenting people. Going around a couple of stores today, she was complimenting people on their clothes, but also making contact. There was a guy there, and he was in a t-shirt and shorts. Now, this is not t-shirt and shorts weather. Even normally in a store, it's not t-shirt and shorts weather, right? If you go in the cold sections. He said, oh, we come from Minnesota, and this is not cold to us. This is warm. So, but just asking him for something, you could see his face lit up, and it made him feel better. And his family with him, they also felt better. And sometimes that's good as well. That is another expression of loving kindness. So there you are. Now, getting back to business on the weather and everything. Tomorrow, the Creative Life Spiritual Center's service will only be online on Facebook. Look for Creative Life Spiritual Center on Facebook. It will be live on Facebook. Reverend Lisa will be on tomorrow morning at 9:15 a.m. Power keeping up. I'll be on around about 5 tomorrow evening. Power being on. I don't know about you, but we're prepared. We covered the outside plants that we couldn't move, and the ones we could move, we moved them in the garage. We have a filtration system for the water. I covered that one up and made sure the insulation's fine. Covered the outside faucets, aka taps in my language, with insulation material, you know, the caps you can put on them, which is good. The outside cats that we look after, we got them self-warming blankets to put in the boxes that they go in. So that should be good. So we're prepared. So hope you are prepared. And just remember, maybe you don't need to do it overnight tonight, but certainly the next night, just open cupboards under sinks and keep the air moving and drip the faucets a little bit, because that helps them from freezing up, because it is going to get way below a freezing point. So with that, I just want to say I am doing the best for everyone, especially all those in the storm path, which is 2,000 miles, or if you're in kilometers, it's over 3,200 kilometers long, which is pretty good. And the temperatures are going to be way down there. They're going to be like anywhere from like -10 to negative, what, 30, no, negative 25 Celsius, or maybe even colder actually in some places. Or if you want Fahrenheit, they're going to be here, I think, around about 20 Fahrenheit. At the coldest, maybe 17, 18. And, well, anyway, that's enough for me. So, and if you're in a warmer part of the world, when you listen to this, then I ask you to hold all of us who are in that storm path, which is going to last for about a week in some places. Hold us all in the palm of your hand, and just know for us that we are safe and well. So until tomorrow, namaste.